If you're in this place and you're watching this, whether you're unfaithful or betrayed, you're probably dealing with the question, who can I talk to about what's going on in my life? Not everyone's been through something like this, and not everyone will understand. If you're a betrayed spouse, not everyone will be helpful. We've said this before in videos that limiting information can sometimes be best in the long run. Use caution, because probably you want to scream from the top of the world that your spouse is a scumbag and what they've done. And down the road, we've all regretted things that we said, and we wish we could have taken back. So there's some patience and some restraint you have to use at this time. Family and friends are quick to be people you can turn to. They're right there. And they can be supportive or destructive, depending on how they feel about your spouse, what issues have been in the past. Most of your friends and family want to know what's going on with you because you're probably not yourself. You're distant. You look down. And things may seem different to them. So sometimes it's helpful for them to know, because if you're having a bad day, it can be easier for you because you don't have to hide why you're having trouble that day. I know my spouse found it easier for her family to know what was going on, and it opened the door for her to talk to them. Down the road, you may find sharing's easier as you see with more clarity. You don't know everything that's going to transpire. You don't know how things will end up. So sharing can be easier later as you see the path for you and your spouse. For the unfaithful, if you're watching this, you probably feel alone, ashamed. Yeah, you don't want to talk to people about what's going on in your life and what you've been doing. You're still trying to figure out how you got here, how you got so far off track, things that you did that you said you would never do. Self-deception's your biggest enemy right now. You need to be aware of it. And all your actions and words, what you're doing, what you're saying, need to filter through your mind of why you're doing what you're doing now. And so you're still faced with this question: who do you talk to? Who can you trust? How can you share with them what's been going on? From my experience, the more people that you can start to talk to, the better. Let your close friends know what you've done and what you're going through, because honesty and transparency is really what you're going to need to find right now. You need that to get on a healing course. You need accountability. And the way to set that up is to let them know who you've been, and that sets you up for who you can be down the road. I know that immediately in the aftermath of things blowing up in my life, I sat down individually with friends, took them to lunch or in an evening over coffee, and I laid out what I'd been doing. Some were surprised because all they saw was a good guy going to church, or they, talked to me from time to time at lunch, but didn't know what was going on in the background of my life. So I took them out one-on-one, and I was just open with them. And I think you'll be surprised at how they react. If anything, at least you'll be real with them, and they'll know they can talk to you about anything that goes on in their life. So no matter what side you're on and you're watching this, I believe that there is a circle of influence that you have to try to identify. My wife and I both realized that there were people in our lives, there was a circle of friends and family that knew what was going on. There's some that can help you weather the storm of life right now. And only those who need to know, not the whole church, not the neighborhood. They can know something's going on in your life. They don't need to know all the details. But this circle of influence is someone that you can trust, and they can be helpful for you. And I'm not saying lie or not say anything to people and act like nothing's wrong. That's that pretend normal. Just being careful about what you share with who. So as you go through this, you'll find out who your true friends are. I guess that's an upside to this whole thing you're going through. That's a positive. Your true friends will be there, and you'll find out who they are. They're the people who are not too quick to talk, but more quick to listen, and just be there for you down the road through all those bad days, through great days. These will be the people who stick it out with you. And these will be the people you find are the most helpful for you. So take time today to think about who your close friends are and who you need to connect with. And also think about your circle of influence for information. Only choose to trust those who can be helpful for you as you see it now, for you, your spouse, and the situation. And when I say that, lastly, I want to offer a word of caution. please be careful to protect children that may be involved. They don't need to be your sounding board or a way to manipulate or trash your spouse. They only need to know what they can handle. And you don't know the future right now, so don't put children in a place that they have to choose or deal with something that they didn't need to process. Today, take a deep breath and take time to be careful to think about who it is that you can visit with and trust with information. I know you have people here who will walk with you through your situation and can give hope to you. And I pray for patience and wisdom for you. If you have any feedback or questions, please offer them, and I'll be available to respond.